All right, what is up? I have a trade recap today. Took a honestly decent trade. I would say it was like if I had to rate it on like a scale, like I'd probably say it's like a B plus or an A minus type of trade. Like there's better setups, obviously. Oh my God, bro. There's better setups, but like this was a decent setup, so I'm really not mad with the win that I took. And I'll show you guys. It was a pretty bad risk to reward ratio, but I don't really care about that too much. Um, Okay, so this is the trade I took. Okay, I'm gonna go over basically what the narrative is. But by the way, if you guys are looking at the charts right now, you can tell we swept London lows, getting displacement. You could see longs from here, but I'm already stepping away because it's 11:10. I step away at 11, so I'm done for the day. But I'll show you guys basically why I took this trade. Okay, so if you go to 1 hour time frame, you can see that NQ took out Asia session and previous day highs here. Okay, um, ES is at all time highs. I wasn't interested in the ES at all today. It was a little bit slower. But we took out previous and Asia session highs right here, and then we started respecting it. Okay, from there, I see on the 5 minute. Okay, we're getting good displacement down. We inverse this 5 minutes to the downside, and then we created a BPR. We created this 5 minute imbalance right here. Okay, I never take trades off of 5 minute. I never execute on 5 minute. Okay, but I do use it as confluence. And what I saw is that on the 1 minute, I'll get rid of this. We had this 1 minute imbalance. That was pretty much aligned with the 5 minute imbalance, and I was like, okay, if you tap into this 1 minute and respect it, I will take a short. Know that in mind. It's a great trade. And what happened? We got exactly one tick away from tapping it. I wonder if the real NQ tapped it because that would suck. Okay, yeah, it did. So we got literally a tick away from tapping into the 1 minute imbalance, and then it started going down, and I couldn't take the trade. I was like, all right, I'm going to stay extremely patient. I'm going to be extremely disciplined, and I'm going to wait because I only execute off of 1 minute confluences. You know what I'm saying? Like I only actually execute off of like a 1 minute inverse, 1 minute fair value gap, 1 minute, whatever. I only actually execute off of 1 minute confluences. And as you can see, we tapped into 5 minute imbalance, right? And we respected it, but didn't tap into the 1 minute, so I couldn't execute. And if it did tap into the 1 minute, let's say it tapped into it here, plopped a short there, bling, 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 would have been a great trade. Much better than this trade. Like this would have been the best trade of the day, but it did not tap and it did not give me anything on the 1 minute until a little bit later. Okay, so keep that in mind. I would have gone break even here. Would have been a great trade, but that's besides the point. Couldn't take the trade. I had the complete right bias, and I literally was ready to execute, and I would have been able to execute with no hesitation because of how good the setup was, but I didn't. But my draw liquidity overall was correct, and my executions were correct pretty much. And execute because obviously I couldn't have. Okay, so I couldn't take this. I also saw, by the way, if we came into the 1 minute imbalance, we'd be rebalancing this internal price range, which would have been even better. But we never got all the way up there because we tapped in the 5 minute, which just flooded the bed. Okay, so what happened then? 15 minute came down, inversed this 15 minute imbalance, and I'm like, oh, okay, man, we're obviously bearish. Order flow is bearish. London low is resting below us. It looks to be the drawn liquidity since order flow is completely bearish. We're running through a 15 minute imbalance. And then, as you can see, when we inverse this 15 minute imbalance, right, that was off this candle, we broke 15 minute structure to the downside, right? Because previously we were technically in an uptrend and we broke 15 minute structure to the downside. And I'm like, okay, order flow is completely bearish. I'm still open to taking a short off of this. And then I scale down to the 1 minute and I see, all right, 15 minute break of structure. We have this internal high that we swept. And I do actually care what happens in the internal range because this still is a liquidity sweep at the end of the day. So we got the liquidity sweep on the lower time frame, internal liquidity sweep. We also put in an SMT right here off of this liquidity sweep, and I'm like, okay, bet we look good. We have 1 minute imbalance. I wanted to see it get ran through. Okay, when it closed though, it closed here, and this isn't a risk reward I can take. I was like, all right, we inversed it right here. I need to see it rebalance itself, and then by rebalance, I literally just mean come back into the inversion. So like this box, right? This inversion, I want to see come back, and then I want to see a little bit more displacement. So it goes all the way down. It gets really close to limit session lows, and I'm like, all right, if I can't take it, I can't take it. It's not the end of the world. Sweeps out this low, comes back up. Once we get that rebalance, I entered in right here for a 1-to-1, risking around $350. I made around $375 on this trade. I don't really care about the money at all. It did put me in green on the week because yesterday I lost like $450. Tuesday I won $160. Today I won $375. So it puts me in the green around plus $100 on the week. my risk management is a little weird. I can't lie. I don't know why. I have 2 wins and 1 loss, and I'm barely in the green. Like I should be a lot more in the green. The reason I'm not too far into the green is because when I took that trade on Tuesday, I was only risking $100, which I should always risk the same amount anytime I'm entering into the marketplace. I should risk the same amount every single time so it doesn't fuck up my risk management. Because if I was risking $100 on that trade, would have been. I mean, if I was risking like my normal like 350, 400 on that trade, I would have made like 500 on that trade, or 400, which would have put me extremely in the green, like probably like plus 500 on the week. But so yeah, now I've learned a little bit this week. Learned to just risk the exact same amount no matter what every single time I'm entering into the marketplace. So Ethan, when you're rewatching this, understand every single time that you enter into the marketplace, it risks the exact same amount. 400 on the dot, or like maybe a little less, 350 to 400, that range. Okay, so that's just telling my future self that. So yeah, as you can see, inverse imbalance telling me we obviously want to go to London lows, order close bearish, internal liquidity sweep, internal SMT inside of the bigger time frame PD array with the inversion for bag at 15-minute mark, switcher check to the downside, rebalance, took a trade there, stops above this body right here, and then take profit obviously at London lows. So you can see chop, flushed. I think the 11 a.m. candle ended up flushing us. Took out my take profit, and then I literally bottom ticked it and immediately started going back up. This looks honestly like a good long right here. Right off this, there's stops down here. All right, whatever, take profit up here. I'm not gonna take it because I'm done trading, but just something to note. We'll see if it plays out. I don't care if it does or not, but just noting it out. So yeah, that was a trade. What else? So yeah, pretty good way to end the week. Covered my loss yesterday by that win, or I covered it with the 2 wins. So, so I should technically be up a lot more overall, bro. There have been so many like annoying things that have happened. Like I genuinely don't care about the money, but it's just annoying when this shit happens because like on last Friday, I took a trade. Would have been a $750 trade, but I was trying to put like a limit. I was trying to add a take profit, and I ended up fucking closing the whole position. It sucks, and it ran right to take profit, obviously. But so obviously I should have already passed my fucking eval, bro. I should have passed this already. So it is annoying, but hey man, I can't do anything about it. It's already happened. I got to continue going. I got to continue pushing forward, continuing to take high quality setups. Like I said, this setup decent, not the best. The reason it's good and the reason I consider this pretty good is because when, like I've said this before, when price gets extremely close to a significant draw on liquidity, which in this case is London lows, when it gets this close, what's going to happen is you're usually going to see a little bit of a retrace, and then you're going to see lower from there. So that's exactly what happened, right? We got extremely close, a couple ticks away, saw a little bit of a retrace, gave a setup, took it. So that's just how the market moves here when we get close to draws on liquidity. And this also looks like a really good market maker sell model off of uptrend, and then we switch to the market maker sell model here. So yes, this is a good trading day. This long might honestly just cook, bro. I'm not going to take it because it's 11:20 and I'm a disciplined person. But this would have cooked right off here. Stops here, and it might cook. So just something to note, something to look at, and then maybe just add it into my conviction for my model here. So we'll just see how this plays out. I'm not going to take it. Fix this shit. Okay. So yeah, overall good day. Was patient, disciplined, waited for the correct setup. Was extremely patient here, bro. I had to really hold myself down, bro. I was sitting on my hands, like, please don't take a trade. I was like, please do not force this, and I didn't, because I was thinking about just fucking taking it off of the 5-minute imbalance. Like I was thinking of just taking it off of this 5-minute being tapped, but I was like, no, I do not do that. I wait for the 1 minute, and it didn't present itself anywhere here, so I did not take it. And I was extremely patient. I'm very proud of myself. I think the reason I took this trade, like it's because I was a little bit upset about not being able to take this trade, so I was like still looking for something. But if I was able to take this trade, would have been better. Couldn't. So I still found the setup, decent setup, the downside here. So that was the total trade recap, guys. What else was I going to say? In a sense, this was more of my continuation trade, but it still was aligned with some other really good things, like the internal liquidity sweep, internal SMT, inversion. We also had this CISD right after the inversion, which is a great couple when you have the CISD and the inversion together. So yeah, looked like a great trade. Sweep above us, displacement, inversions, breakup structures everywhere to the downside, order flow, completely bearish. So other than that, guys, that was a trade recap. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.